I have a hard time sometimes checking back in with someone who I haven't talked to in a long time. There are some people you can pick up where you left off perfectly. Like, perfectly. Like, even when you call them, you're like, as I was saying. It's been 4 years, but you remember where you left off. And then there's other people where it's like you got to find your footing again. You know? And it's really difficult, at least in the way that we've structured things right now, for men to have very close, intimate friendships with other men. And it's tough because people talk about this epidemic of male loneliness. I'd like to get to the bottom of why men are lonely, because there are men everywhere. It's kind of crazy that there's millions of men and they're all lonely. It seems like they should meet the men that are also lonely. It's a lot of men to be lonely. Imagine 100 million people feel by themselves. Seems fixable. One would hope. But some of it is just like the way that men make friends. There are very few, especially you're talking about your intimate, your strong friendships. There's very few categories and very few ways to go down that road with another man. Is usually one of a few things. Your best friend as a man is usually one related to you, maybe. That's my brother. Didn't even need to make a friend. My parents made him for me. So we sort of rolled together since we were little, because, you know, he was right there. So how you gonna not? That's like when people like hate their brothers, I'm like, oh, he must have put some work in then, because by default, y'all should have been at least chilling. And then there are men who become intense friends through a shared trauma, like a war buddy. Like you may not have even been compatible in the outside world, but you went through something that was so distinct to your experience that the only other person that gets it covers so much ground for you that now y'all can be best friends because you went through this thing together. And then the third way is kind of like the brother thing. You just known each other for a long time. I mean, we took civics class together, and that was that. I don't get out much. And even within your friendship, because this is the thing about real loneliness. You don't have to have no friends to be lonely. You can be lonely within the relationships that you have. It's about letting people in. And it's hard as guys for us to really let someone in, because there's a thing that we're battling all the time. Some of it's social, some of it's like learned, it's conditioned. And then some of it is not knowing how to express the stuff that's inside. So you're in a really tense place as a guy sometimes. And any little thing can knock you off of a good track you have with a friend. Like a hug. It's a dangerous thing. Hugging as a man. Going in too quick. Looking a little thirsty. We gotta be really specific about our hugs as men, you know? It's on the top of mind, even if you don't think it is. It's surface level, but it's top of mind. You get a weird hug from a friend, it could change your whole relationship. You know? And most of it is like learned over time. As a baseline, you're good to go, right? Especially if you go in for that one palm first, boom, right here, bring it in, very manly. You know, bow, bow, you know, you bang shoulders together. whoever shoulder breaks first loses. That's my boy. Bow, bow, right? You want to make it extra painful, you go in with the other hand. Bow, bow, bow. I remember one time I went in, hugged my buddy, hands out, bow. Good loud clap too, real manly stuff. People that we didn't know heard that pop from across the room. Pow! Went in for the hug, boom. Messed up both our shoulders. And if I'm being honest, it all went awry at the end because I don't know where his mind was at. But, he went to, close it off, last hand on the back. But for some reason, it was a little low, like. Just so you understand what I went through. We were going in for the hug, bow. I bring it in, bow. He comes around. Mid-hug, I'm like, sir. He immediately like, yeah, my bad, dog. I didn't mean to, it was great, wind. And depend on who you are and who it happens with could knock the whole friendship out of whack forever. That's how delicate it is. And it's tough sometimes, tough to make friends as a man. Like even if you really rock with somebody, you really respect them, you really admire them, and you might even tell them so, but you don't know how to cross over that next level to really be a friend. And because it's not often communicated, a lot of men don't know they have friends. You have people that you're cool with. But then, if somebody asks them and somebody asks you, you're both like, yeah, I guess we're friends. I mean, yeah, he cool. Like, what'd he say about me? Like, he cool. Like, I mean, like, I like Buddy. Like, he cool and everything. And I'm sure he think I'm cool. But, like, I think we're friends. But it's also cool if we not. Like, if we're not friends at all. Like, I don't care. We could be enemies for all I care. Like, let's get it. Oh, it's true. And then, sometimes you don't realize how hard it is to make friends until you look around and you're like, oh, I don't feel like I have many. It's a thing that can happen subtly. It's not something that comes all at once. You look around and you're like, oh, who would I really call if I was in trouble? Maybe just a few people, maybe genuinely. There's no one you feel comfortable making that call to, And so you want to make friends, but it's tough to go out there and try to make friends as a man sometimes. And it doesn't have to be, but just think about it. Like, dudes always act like they don't know what they mean when a woman is like freaked out by a guy coming on too strong, but let a man just try to be your friend. As a man, walk up to another man and be like, I like your jeans. See how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. You know what I mean? But that's my thing. That's my thing, is that we're in a place now where, for the most part, it doesn't have to be this hard. We have online friendships. We have friendships that we can make in person. There's no reason for people to feel lonely. And women try to help. They do. You ever had your girlfriend try to make you some friends? It's one of the most demoralizing. It's one thing when you little. When you're like a little kid and you're weird. Like I was weird and I was a little kid and my mom was like, let me get him some help. Let me find some other weirdos. They can be weird together. It becomes very different when you're like 30. And someone who has made the choice to love you slowly starts trying to set you up with just any other man so you have someone to talk to besides her. Which is just like so fundamentally what it is. Like it's just sadly a woman who's like, I can't hear everything. Some of this gotta be for the locker room, please. Men are out here so lonely. We got women tried to set us up for locker room talk just so it won't be talked to them for like an hour. And getting set up on like a boyfriend play date is one of the saddest experiences because as men, you both know why you there. You both sitting here now, knowing why you here, and both y'all acting too good for each other. Like, both y'all sit here like, yeah, you know, the game was crazy last week. I got friends, just so you know. Like, I don't even know why she doing this. Like, yeah, I got people to talk to. And then buddy over here is like, yeah, you know, sports. Yes, the team is doing well, but not as well as we would like. We hope that they will do better, but they have won some games. We hope they win more. Sports. I also got friends. Like, I don't know why my girl, like, I don't know why our girl, that's just them being obsessed with us when we not around for her to tell you about me and me about you. You know, there's no need, you know, like we could just watch the game, you know, together without it being something, being weird or anything. You know? Do you want to watch the game though? Because, I think it'd be a good one if you want to. Yeah, no, I'd love to watch the game. I'd love to. This is nice, dog. This is nice. Oh. Because it doesn't have to be this way. Your friendships are incredibly important, and I think seeking them out is a very important business to make in life. Seeking out good friendships, seeking out people that make you a better person. It will make you richer than anything you could have ever imagined because friends take care of you. There are times where you don't know what's going to happen to you, and there are people who you didn't need to call, you didn't need to ask, they just show up because they care about you. Those things are incredibly important, and a lot of men feel like they're missing in their lives, and is once again wild because there are a lot of men. I feel like we could get to the bottom of it pretty quickly. Just looking around, you know? Because a lot of what makes that loneliness is a cycle. It's a hamster wheel of somewhat our own making. You know, you're on this thing because you don't feel loved and you don't feel lovable. And when you don't feel loved and you don't feel lovable, you usually don't behave in a way that makes you more lovable to people. You usually don't open up. And so you're acting in a way that becomes more antisocial. It pushes more people away. So the people that you would have got just by happenstance, they get pushed away. And then there are actively people in your life that you try to be close to. You push them away as well. And then by the fact that you push so many people away, it reconfirms to you the thing that you told yourself about yourself. And so you just stay on that wheel. And it is simple to get off. It's not easy, but it's simple. You just step off of the wheel and you walk up to a guy that you respect and you say, I like your jeans. Like, it's cool. They're really cool. Like, I don't know, you're like cool. And one of the reasons that is simple but not easy, one of the reasons it's scary to do is because there seems to be such a lack of accepting that thing, of accepting that love, of accepting someone wanting to be there for you, take care of you and everything. It's very hard to get in. And look, once you're there, you're there. Once you're there, you know, I know a lot of loyal men, and you'll have a friend for life, but there's some walls, you know. Like, one thing that I've seen is a rabbit hole that I've fallen down that I enjoy very much is this trend of men calling to wish their friends good night. And it encapsulates everything that I'm saying. It's one of the most fascinating things to watch. Basically, if you haven't seen this yet, people are recording, usually the girlfriend or wife is recording their husband or boyfriend calling his friends to say goodnight. That's it. That's literally it, and it's one of the most fascinating things you can watch, because there are as many reactions as there are like faces on a diamond. Like, you cannot predict what's going to happen, and you will be surprised every single time. Because they'll call, and one of those calls, they answer, "Hey, what's up?" "Nothing. What's up with you, man?" "Oh, not much. You know, I was just calling, about to go to bed and everything, so I just want to wish you good night." The first one I watched, I just want to call and wish you a good night, you know, just have a good night. And the guy was like, "What?" No, I was just saying, call and wish you good night. Like, you know, hope you have a good night too. Sleep tight, drink sweet dreams and everything. What? And this reaction comes because the last time that a man heard those words, he was a boy. And it was his parents. And that's if it ever happened. So a lot of men don't know how to handle it. It's literally like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, sleep tight, you know, night, and everything. Huh? Not even kidding. In the call, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm just about to nod off and everything. So I was saying, you know, have a good night. You know, I'll see you when I see you. Like, I gotta go. Oh, another one of my favorites. Another one that genuinely filled me with joy. This dude called and he was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" "I'm good. How you doing?" Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm just about to nod off and everything. So I'm, you know, just wanted to wish you good night, say sleep tight, you know, sweet dreams and everything. Dude on the phone went, What? Night. What you mean good night? You would not believe how many men said, what do you mean good night? What do you mean good night? He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm just about to go to bed, sweet dreams and everything. And he's like, yo, you good? Are you good? Dog, for real, are you good? And for the rest of the phone call, he could not convince his friend he wasn't kidnapped. He's like, yeah, dog, no, I'm good, I'm chilling. I'm just, about to nod off. We haven't talked in a while, so I want to say night, night, wish you sweet dreams and everything. And he's like, oh, they got you? Ooh, okay, let me know where you at. Where you at? No, I'm at home. I'm just saying, like, sweet dreams and everything. Like, I hope you sleep well, like, sleep tight and everything. Like, I won't let you die, dog. Where you at? No, I'm right now. Just send me the address. Like, put in code or something. Like, totally different call. This dude called. Wish this dude good night. He was like, hey, I just want to say good night, sleep dreams, hope you, have a good night and everything. And the dude said, huh? Yeah, just good night. Hope you have a good night. Yo, what you mean good night? It's like, I'm just saying good, like, have a good night, like sleep well. He's like, yeah, whoa, why you calling me telling me that? Like, you call me like I'm like a side chick or something. What you doing? I was like, no, dog, I just wanted to wish you, a good night. I hope you sleep well, sleep tight and everything. Hey, I really feel like you're being disrespectful right now. And one of the reasons I feel like this is such a phenomenon is because I'm not saying that women even do this all the time, but the way that women are friends with each other has a lot more of these little things in it. It's the little checkups. It's the little, like, how you doing, how you been. It's the little chats that is usually missing in male friendships, which makes a lot of men not really know where they stand with other men. Like, you'll be friends with somebody. You'll be considered a friend by somebody, but you won't be sure. You'll be like, no, I like him. And we hang out once in a while, but like, he's like my other friend's brother. So if you ask him, I guess he'd say we're friends, but it's also cool if he doesn't. Like, I don't care. I ain't care. I'm not pressed about that. Like, maybe we friends, maybe we not. I don't know. It's cool either way. If you want to be enemies, we could do that too. Because that's the thing. It's just how we show love is very specific. Like, I've watched my girlfriend tell her girlfriends, love you, easily. Not another thought. Love you is bye, love you middle conversation, whatever, right? And as men, we rarely say, I love you to other men, especially that we're not related to. And I think it's because to me, it's just a different style of love. Because a lot of men will not say, I love you to their other friends, to other men. They won't say, I love you. They say it in a different way, because what we value as men is the sort of like loyalty or ride or die level of commitment that we have to each other that stays unspoken. Sometimes you don't even know somebody has it for you until you're in trouble. So as men, we don't really say, I love you to each other like that. you know a man loves you when he says, dog, I'd die for you. Because we really just sort of keep it in life and death. Outside looking in, I'm not saying I know, I'm just saying from what I watch, it seems like women are very excited to give and receive love from each other. And as men, we're very excited to die. Oh, we would love to die together. That'd be preferable, just let's die together. Yeah, no, we'll ride out right now, dog. Yo. And that's what I saw in that phone call when that dude called his friend. That dude loved him, convinced he was kidnapped. I was like, where you at? Let me know right now. Because so much of it is like about being hard, I suppose. Like as a man, you want to be not just respect, you want to be admired, you want to be hard, and it seems like being hard is the way to get those two things. It was this dude called his buddy, said sweet dreams. He's like, what you mean sweet dreams? What you mean sweet dreams? No, I'm just saying sweet dreams. No, what you mean sweet dreams? I don't have sweet dreams. All right, it's nightmares every day around here. Nobody worried about some sweet dream. What you dreaming about? Shoot, I dream about work. Maybe my favorite one, we're talking like top. One of my favorite ones is this dude calls. Hey, what's up, dog? Oh, I'm good. What's up with you? Nothing. I just wanted to call, say good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite anything. Just wanted to wish you a good night, man. He was like, how you know I got bed bugs, dog? Like, I didn't tell anybody about that. What's wrong with you? Why you... Don't be telling people my business, for real. We're talking like top 2-3 videos of the trend. It was this one dude calls his buddy up, and he's already giggling because he knows how his friend's gonna react. Because that's the thing, is that it's so funny how weird people react, because you can tell from the way they pick up the phone that they're close. Who they chose to call for a reason. And half of them, when they pick up, they're being silly anyway, Hey, what's up? If that's how you answer, you can't freak out when someone says good night. Male friendships are so important because at least for the guys that I know, they're some of the only friendships that tether you. They tether you to a way of seeing the world that is unconditional of other things. I'm not saying that when you have female friends or when you're alone, you can't get to the same place you can get with male friends. I just think it's very different. It's very different. Like if you went to one of your female friends after a breakup and you're telling her what happened, maybe she'll see your perspective, but she probably wasn't gonna do the same thing as you were gonna do. Whereas if you go to a guy after a breakup and you tell him what happened, one of two things is either gonna happen. He's either gonna see completely your perspective, maybe he'll pump you up, maybe he'll tell you you were wrong, but he's gonna see it exactly the way that you see it. Or he's gonna be like, dang, I was about to do that same thing. That's good to know. Like, I was about to ruin my whole life. Oh, thank God you did it before me. Okay. Oh, Oh, that's good to know. All right. No. Because I want that for the men that I see suffering from loneliness. I want them to have friends. Friends would fix the loneliness, and it would heal a big part of this thing that we see en masse from men. When you see a bunch of like angry men, some people are like, all these angry dudes just need a girlfriend. All these like incels just need to get laid. It's like, no, they need friends. like friends. Friends would fix things way more than I think we realize, because sometimes those dudes get a girlfriend. I know it doesn't seem likely, but it's true. No, fundamentally, I'm being serious, it's true. Sometimes the most like weird, nasty posting incel will actually get a girlfriend. And it doesn't necessarily heal everything, because now in their mind they're like, okay, this woman likes me. This woman doesn't think that I'm ugly. But all of these preconceived notions they have about women still remain. Whereas when you have friends, I'm not saying it makes you a wholly better person. It depends on the friends that you keep. You can measure parts of a man by the company that he keeps. But at the same time, when you have a bunch of friends around you, well-rounded friends that can hear what you're saying or can understand where you're coming from and can help guide you down a better path, that makes it better for everyone. You know, some of my best friends have shown me things about myself I wouldn't have caught otherwise. And it's not as if you even need that many. I don't even know if men could handle a lot of friends. We're not good at maintaining relationships in the same way, so 5 is probably enough. Honestly, 5, that 5th one, you're gonna forget his name once in a while. 5 is a lot. A lot of men have one. And once again, it falls into the categories I was talking about before. They have one truly close friend, one truly close male friend, and they either have just known him a long time, or it's their brother, or they went to war together. Yeah? But they have one. So when he dies, that's it. Because you're also his only one. I hope that we can get men to prank each other to the point of good mental health. I hope that it would be so dope if the next level of the prank is just like, hey everybody, I'm gonna go to my buddy's dad's funeral to support him. Let's see what he does. He's there at the funeral. He's like, how you feel, man? How are you doing? His friend's like, how am I doing? What you mean how I'm doing? What you mean how you trying to get knocked out? What you mean how I'm doing? Huh? What you mean how I'm doing? What do you mean how I'm doing? What do you mean? And then he cries on his shoulder, and that's the cry on the shoulder challenge. Like, you just have to ask how a man is doing over and over until he answers. And then he really needed that. It's really important, so have a moment together. Just see dudes like, next trend, just next trend is just like, you know, like the kitchen challenge, where you just like go over to your boy's place and just check his kitchen. Like, is it insane? Is it disgusting? Are there other things living there? Oh, I'd love to see, and you know, we as a society will hopefully be around much longer. One day TikTok's gonna be pretty old. I wanna see a TikTok challenge where it's just dudes calling each other out of nowhere, being like, hey, make sure you get your prostate checked, all right? We all 50 and up right now, like, no, look, I'm gonna call him, tell him to check his prostate, see how he react, right? It's like, all right, yeah, because you know we both 55, so it's like that time, you know, you gotta keep up with your health and everything. He freaking out, like, why you worried about my prostate, dog? Like, it's something I hope continues, because I think it's nice. Out of all of like the TikTok trends and YouTube pranks, this is like one that I think is genuinely good. Because you'll see these compilations of them, and then every once in a while you'll get one. This dude called his friend. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm good. How are you?" "I'm all right. I was just calling, you know, wish you good night and everything." And his friend was like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, no, I was just thinking about you, so I want to say good night, sleep tight. You know what I mean? Have sweet dreams and everything." And his buddy was like, "Oh, thank you, man. Nah, I appreciate you, man. You have sweet dreams too, dog." Oh, that's special.
We've been watching the news and I saw that Kevin McCarthy lost his speakership. He's not House Speaker anymore. And I was watching, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care. It didn't affect me in my mind at all. What I got upset about was after he got fired, he gave a 30-minute speech to the press. Why do we need that? We all just watched you get fired slowly on national TV. We watched them vote to fire you. Fired, fired, fired. We watched it happen. What could you possibly have to tell us? And I was upset because he shouldn't get that. A 30-minute speech after he's fired. He should not get that. We should get that. Think about it. You get fired from your job, and then you have 30 minutes for an exit speech to say whatever's on your mind. Imagine you get fired and you work at Taco Bell, and now the floor is yours for half an hour. You just walk up, "Thank you all so much for your time." He steals, okay? He's a thief. We all know it. Y'all firing at me, but all right, he steals every day, okay? Also, these two that you keep putting on shift together, they fuck in the fridge, all right? I've walked in several times. Everybody, don't eat the chalupa or the crunch wrap. The tortillas are compromised. Every forgotten job should have that thing, you know what I mean? Let's say you're a mail worker, UPS, FedEx, post office, and they fire you. Then you get 30 minutes to just let them have it. You walk up and you're like, okay, you're gonna fire me, but all right, cool. Just so y'all know, most of the mail is dildos, all right? So if I go, nobody comes, all right? Thankless jobs should get it. You're a social worker, and they fire you. You get 30 minutes to speak to the public. You just walk out and you're like, all right, you want me to go? I'm gonna go. There's only 3 of us. So good luck. Also, that kid over there, serial killer, all right? Just watch him. Because it's not like he even gave a good speech. McCarthy's speech was horrible. He started his speech, you can look it up, by being like, "I didn't get good grades in school." Why would you open with that? That's basically that dude walking up being like, "I'm dumb as hell, y'all right. I should have never had this shit." I saw another story that, okay, there was a rich guy that died, and they were reporting it on the news because he died when his little plane went down. That's what the news was calling it. His little plane crashed, and he passed away when his little plane hit the ground and everything. They just kept saying little plane over and over again. And I was like, just say jet. Like, it was a jet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, little plane? That's crazy. Like, I understand why they say little plane. They said little plane so we'd feel bad for him. Because if they say a guy died when his little plane went down, you're like, oh, what a tragedy. If they say a rich guy died on his jet, you're like, good. I'm just saying it, you know? But they just kept saying little plane, and the tone they had was weird. They were just like, died on his little plane with his little dick. Like, it just felt weird. It felt like he was the anchor's ex or something. Like, it just had that ex energy. Like, he died on his little ass plane. Little broke ass. It was rented, by the way. He didn't own a plane. It's odd. Just say jet. It's more respectful to just say jet. We don't know this man's story. I look at myself. I come from Louisiana and I don't come from money. If I ever raise my net worth to the point of being able to afford a jet and I buy a jet and then I crash land in my jet and I die and then they're reporting it on the news and they say Josh died on his little plane, I will come back to life just to whoop ass. That is crazy. Call it a jet. That's what it is. You know? I don't know why I'm so passionate about this. I even had a friend be like, no, just because it's a little plane doesn't mean it's a jet. I'm like, it was his plane. Anyone who owns a plane is doing pretty well. You know? It's like not like owning a little boat. You can own a canoe and still be poor. You know? That just means you have enough wood to stay afloat. But if you are going in the clouds whenever you feel like, that's money. A little plane. My favorite story, though, my favorite thing that happened was Paris Fashion Week. If y'all aren't familiar, Paris has Fashion Week and all these people high up in the fashion world, rich people, celebrities, they all descended on Paris for a week to see and be seen and stuff. And while they were there was an outbreak of bed bugs, which is hilarious. It couldn't be. You gathered all the richest people in the world together in one place and gave them bed bugs? Are we sure this wasn't an activist? You sure this wasn't Greta Thunberg trying new things? You know what I mean? Just her sitting there like, you take a jet, you pays the price. You know? Could have been. We don't know. But it was amazing. They gave all those rich people bed bugs. It made me laugh so hard because it's Fashion Week. So half of them dress like bed bugs to begin with. So like, bed bugs probably thought it was mating season. You know what I mean? They were seeing them walk by like, okay, come through, thickness. I'm gonna take a bite of you later. But no, people from Fashion Week spoke to the press and the public. People from the local government spoke to the press and the public and everything. And mostly everyone was trying to maintain a sense of calm the entire time, right? We're very sorry that this is happening. This is not a reflection on our beautiful city. We're doing our best to move people. Just please stick with us, right? But there was one person that was my favorite. The deputy mayor also spoke to the public and the press. But when the deputy mayor came out, he was like, it's an outbreak. No one is safe. What kind of leader says no one is safe? We just came out of a global pandemic where no country's leader said no one is safe, even when no one was safe. That's crazy. Then the mayor, because the mayor came out, she was ready. She was like prim, proper. She made me feel reassured, and I wasn't even in Paris, right? And then she got this assistant-ass mayor behind her. No one is safe. She's probably like, get him out of here. It's crazy. No one is safe. Every leader I've ever had has tried to maintain a sense of calm in a crisis. I remember when I was in middle school, in English class. And English class was after lunch. And I'd seen this kid at lunch, and he had a nasty-ass lunch. I don't know what it was, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, he gonna be sick. That is disgusting. And so then I sat as far away from him as I could, corner of the classroom. And then middle of class, sure enough, his stomach started bubbling. And we all hear it. He just over here taking notes like... looking at us like, y'all don't hear me, right? It's like, of course we hear you. His stomach is loud as hell. And then in the middle class, he jumps up and runs out. And on the way to running out, because he was very sick, he threw up on the back of like 7 kids' heads. And our teacher said, calm down. I know y'all just got thrown up on. Let me get some towels. It's gonna be fine. She didn't say, no one is safe. You see what I mean?
I worked at an Italian restaurant that burned down, right? It burned down, and even as the head chef was trying to put the flames out on his back, no one yelled, "No one is safe." We just tried to put this man out.
Actually, one of my favorite things about when that happened was, okay, so chef is on fire, right? Like, and then the line cook ran out to the dining hall where everybody else was, and then just yelled to the whole dining hall, "We on fire, motherfuckers!"
Which is like as informative as it is unhelpful. Like, he's telling them the details, but not enough to get them moving. Also, we are not on fire, just he is on fire. Some of the building is on fire, but mostly as we, it's just him. He on fire by himself, right? And so no one knows what to do, because even if someone ran in now and was like, "We on fire, motherfuckers," you wouldn't immediately jump up and run. They looked at him and they were like, "So is he on drugs or what's?" And it wasn't until the chef ran out behind him out the door with a couple flames still on his back that everybody cleared out. He yelled, "We on fire, motherfuckers." He didn't yell, "No one is safe." What would even possess you to put the words to get to the public, "No one is safe"? Like, when I think about it, now that I think about it, I think that was that deputy mayor low-key admitting he had bed bugs. That's what it was. It had to be, "No one is safe." That means I'm not safe. That's, no one is safe. I wish there was video. There's no video of it happening. But you can tell that this is the case because anytime one of our leaders has to speak to us, they're calm because it's not their problem. That's what's happening. I grew up in Louisiana. Our whole state would get slammed by hurricanes, and the governor would come on TV and be like, we're gonna stick in this together, all right? We're all in this together." He's clearly in Massachusetts, by the way. "We're all in this together, all right? Y'all just stick with me, we're gonna get through this." You know what I mean? I think that dude freaked out because it was his problem. It's hard to stay calm when you're in the middle of something, you know? I wish there was video. There's no video. I wish he would just come out, because you know he yelled it. You know, he was like, "No one is safe." It's happening to everybody, including really cool people who don't deserve this. God damn, I wish there was a video just to see him be like, "It's an outbreak, y'all. We doing our best, but this is bullshit." You know, okay. We're trying to distill this idea for a minute, so just stick with me. It's difficult for all of us. Any person out here is just trying to do the best they can and try to be as good of a person, as useful of a person as they can. And I think one of the things that especially like young dudes are running into is that we don't need men to be men the way that we used to be. There's like this different man that the world needs now that we just don't know. It's like you don't need to be a caveman anymore, you know? And it's difficult because no one has shown exactly what that is, and it has been co-signed on. So everybody's going their separate ways with everything. You know? Best example I can give is I knew a dude who, he's black, but he's like third generation suburbs. So he's not from the hood at all. Not at all, right? But his girlfriend is, and she grew up in the hood, she still lives there. He was over at her place, right? And while they were there that night together, somebody broke in, which is terrifying. It's terrifying to be home for a burglary. That's something you want to come back home and just be like, "They got us." You never want to be at home during the burglary. Yeah, I mean, so then he doesn't even get a chance. He's like trying to process all of the stuff that's happening. They hear a window break. They hear somebody with like loud steps coming in through the window and everything. And before he can do anything, his girl just turns around and is like, "These trifling motherfuckers," opens her nightstand, pulls out a gun, cocks it, and leaves the room. He didn't even get the chance to be like, "Baby, it's okay, I'll go check it out." She's gone. She's gone, and he can hear her from the room. He can hear her kind of roasting them. Like, just kind of, "Where your broke ass at? I got a gun too, ain't nobody scared." Which is wild, because as a man, if you're in bed and then your girl leaves the room to go get the burglar with the gun, you do kind of just pull the sheets up. Because all you can do now is cheer. Just be like, get him, baby. Y'all have been great. Thank you so much.
What an incredible day. It's been beautiful outside. It's a real... Yeah, no, you can clap. This is big for us because we had a whole ass hurricane this weekend. That was crazy. It was so... New York should... This is already a dirty place. This is already a disgusting city. This place should never be wet. That was unacceptable. Like even when I looked outside, I was like, there's a whole lot of stuff out there right now that should not be getting wet, right? And then I had to run. So I was gonna be late for a spot, so I was running, right? And as I was running, I almost slipped. And if I had fallen on the wet New York pavement, if I had fallen on the somehow warm water, I don't even think I would have not... I think I would have killed myself. I think that was on my last thread. I've been reading the news and I saw this story that's captivated me. It was a British Airways pilot that got fired because they caught him the night before. He had done a bunch of cocaine off of a stripper's titty. I know. Some of y'all are like, awesome. And I read the whole story, and when I got done reading the story, I had lots of questions. First question. Why is the titty part of the story? That feels, you know what I mean? That feels like the least consequential part. The titty did nothing wrong. Like, it was just being there for a good time and everything. And second, is that why they fired him? Did they go to him? They were like, you don't even do it all flat surfaces. You're not responsible with your cocaine. How can we put lives in your hands when you're this reckless with your cocaine? You know when you put it on the titty, you lose at least half. Third question that it brought up for me. Is flying a plane low-key easy? How are pilots this comfortable getting this blazed all the time? It's like, this story happens like once a month. Pilots get caught being drunk and being high or whatever. I have a theory, and this is a conspiracy theory that just I have. And I know I don't expect you to believe what I'm about to say. I just think this, okay? You know, like when you're getting off a flight and you're walking to the front and the pilot is standing there, just standing in front of the cockpit. You know that weird thing they do? It's really awkward. They're like waiting for some sort of attaboy or something. It's like, it's honestly the thirstiest thing I've ever seen. Like they just land the plane and now they're like, oh, did you like that? That was me. Like pilots in front of the cockpit after the flight look like dudes before Tinder. Just like, what do you think of me? So anyway, when you look past them, which I always do, when you look right past them into the cockpit, you can see all these like little switches, all these levers in the cockpit, all these little lights, all these labels. I think, just me, I think none of that shit worked. That's all for show. That's not real. There's a button under their seat that says fly, and they hit that. That's how the plane takes off. Otherwise, I can't believe they're this comfortable being drunk, you know? Because I think it must just be an easy job. Everyone here knows somebody with an easy job that is high for that job 100% of the time. I got 5 friends that are dog walkers. They're on the moon half the week. All they gotta do is walk. Yep. All right. You don't even need to give them a direction. Just they walk until the dog is tired. These dogs look like tortilla chips, by the way, to them. They're very high. I don't know. Just maybe you don't need to fire them. Did they really need to fire them? You know, ask yourself truly. What if he fly better on cocaine? Did anybody ask that? What if he's a better pilot? What if he does a little cocaine and then he's up there alert, just dodging clouds? Let him be. If it's an easy job, let him be drunk and high. Just knock $200 off my ticket. That's all I ask. I'll take a drunk discount. I don't care. You know? That's the other thing. You know, we narrowly missed it by like 2 hours. There was almost a government shutdown. There was almost a whole government shutdown, which is crazy. We send them to do government. We send these people to do government, and they're so bad doing government, they almost didn't have money for government.
And then they still weren't going to be fired. You know what I mean? When there's a government shutdown, they just take a vacation and then come back and work it out. It's insane. And they still get paid. They mismanage this shit so badly that it has to shut down and they still get paid. It's the government workers that don't get paid, you know? Federal workers have to get furloughed. They don't get any pay. FAA up there doing their job, hoping they'll get paid later. TSA doesn't get paid. If you think TSA are some bastards now, imagine them showing up knowing they're not getting paid. If you are not getting paid to do TSA and you still show up, you're doing it for the love of the game, all right? You doing it because you like fucking up people's flights. That's the whole real. Oh, this bitch thinks she going to Aruba. All right, not today. Not on my watch. All right. I can't stand them. They're the worst. They really are. They always asking me dumbass questions. You know, you'll be in line. They'll grab your bag, be like, why is there so much lotion in this bottle? It's like, that's how it came. Don't act like I'm being weird. That's how much Aveeno CVS sells. I didn't make the lotion. Just throw it away if you need to. They be holding it up like, he's got lotion. Why does he have so much lotion? Questions need to be answered. It's like, oh my God. Can't stand it. You know, that's the thing. That's how you know nobody cares about your safety in reality. Nobody cares. Nobody at the airport cares. Pilot is drunk. And the TSA is just, they say they're looking for bombs, but they're just taking menial shit off you. They're like, why is your comb so sharp? It's like, oh my God. They like, trying to check if everything is a bomb, but then they still will let an airport have a Taco Bell. It's like, what about those ass bombs you're sending in the air? That's crazy. It's wild. Because what if something happens, like the Spain plane? Remember the Spain plane? Do y'all know about, okay, in case you don't know about the Spain plane, there was a plane on its way to Spain months ago that had to turn around halfway there because somebody shit the plane, all right? And no, the plane got bathrooms. They weren't like, hold it until you get to Spain. Someone shit the plane, all right? That's crazy. CNN reported it. That's how big of a story it was. They had to divert. People were like, is there a terrorist on? It's like, kinda. Like, it was absolutely crazy. Someone went to college, studied journalism, then got a job at CNN. And at 8 o'clock on my TV, they were like, somebody shit the plane. Somebody. That's why I feel like, just roll with me here for a second. Just stick with me. I feel like the world would be a better place if more women punched people. Because I feel like there's a show that I watch. I was raised by 3 women, so I watched a lot of Lifetime, all right? And there was a show on Lifetime called Snapped. If you haven't heard of it, it's a show about women killing their husbands, all right? And just so you know, there's 28 seasons, so women have been cooking, okay? Anyway, I bring all this up because I watch a lot of Snap because I was raised by these 3 women, always watching Lifetime, so then I'm watching and I'm just looking for all the men's mistakes. I'm just like, all right, good to know. But honestly, a lot of the episodes, if y'all have watched the show, the day they kill the husband, sometimes he didn't do anything that day. You know what I mean? He was just like, hey, babe, where's the... Just a couple punches and this whole shit could have been avoided. You know what I mean? Just letting it build up. It's not good, you know? I'm very worried, too. I worry about the economy more and more every day. Not just because I'm getting older and I finally have started to understand it, like, genuinely. Like, a lot of this does not make sense. Like, a lot of what we're doing. I know we all watch The Big Short and everything, but, like, this is actually bad, what's happening. Like, I know the economy is getting worse and worse because more and more of my Uber drivers have been white. And this is terrifying, all right? Is the economy in shambles? What's happening? Do you know the terror that goes through my heart when I open up Uber and it says Spencer will be there in 3 minutes? I'm like, nuh-uh. Whatever happened to him is happening to me next week, all right? This is very bad. And the worst part about having a white Uber driver is their honesty. You know, because I'm a jovial guy. I get in the car and I'm like, hey, how's it going? You know, white Uber driver tell you the truth. They will. They'll let it all out. You know what I mean? Hey, how's it going? She took everything. Like, oh, yo. I did not know. I remember the first time it happened. I remember I'll never forget my first white Uber driver, Tyler. I got in the car, I was like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, obviously not fucking well. I'm like, okay, whoops, my bad. You all been great, thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson.